can find.
This is the toughest event in lumberjack sports.
This is absolutely a man on a mission blowing half the log off.
A single elimination tournament featuring the top lumberjacks in North America.
One more hit, he's done it. Virginia Beach, welcome. Matt Cogar as a two-time national champion.
Last year, Matt Cogar would best the field and take his second national trophy championship.
And he's destroying the standing block.
These hardcore blue-collar athletes will take the stage to battle it out in one of the toughest events in timber sports.
And this is a street fight, ladies and gentlemen.
Good afternoon and welcome to it, the STIHL North American Trophy Championship for 2026. Welcome to Virginia. Welcome to Jackalope, Virginia Beach, one of the greatest action sports gatherings and celebrations throughout the world. And we are so excited to be a part of this fantastic location, a perfect marriage of one of the original extreme sports and all the lifestyle that goes along with it. And Kevin Holtz, I think all of these folks here can find kindred spirits in all the folks who are attending Jackalope for sure.
Yeah, it's just a happy little ecosystem here in Virginia Beach right now with skateboards, BMX, motocross, timber sports, high rope action, parachutes are flying in. If you're an adrenaline junkie, this is the spot to be. And it all kicked off on Friday evening with our Hot Saw Showdown. That man you just saw on the screen there right just a moment ago, Maddie Slingerland, our Hot Saw Showdown champion from Friday night.
We also enjoyed the Women's Cup Championship, and we'll talk about that during the course of the day. But right now, it's time to get going. So to take us through the whole thing, one of the greatest of all time, great in terms of records, in terms of championships nationally and internationally, and one of the greatest spokesmen the sport has ever had. He is, of course, the one, the only Super Dave Jewett.
Hey, man, it's been a blur. We're back there talking. Thank you so much for coming out to the Timber Sports Jackalope Festival. This whole weekend has just been crazy. We had the Hot Saw Showdown. Big shout out to Maddie Cogar, Maddie Slingerland, taking that home from Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, and from Kalispell, Montana, Lauren Bergman, taking home the North American Women's National Trophy. She's going to be going to Budapest to represent the United States. And she took home a check for $10,000 yesterday. Big round of applause for those two athletes. Today, though, the North American Trophy event. 10 athletes from the U.S., 6 athletes from Canada. My name's Super Dave. I'll be calling it. I was in this crazy, the original extreme sport for 25 years. We'll be calling it. We, meaning my sidekick who's coming out. This guy brings the hypes and the pipes. Give it up for Dave Johns.
What is up, Jackalope? Let's hear it for STIHL Timbersports. Keep it going, folks. Keep it going. We got a mega day. It's finals day here.
Great job, David. We couldn't do this without our sponsors. STIHL, John Deere, Jackalope, the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation.
Yeah, Dave, this is going to be epic today. I'm so excited. Let's turn it over to the booth. Tommy, Kevin, who are we watching out here today?
Yes, who are we watching today? Well, Kevin, you know we've got the best of the best from Canada and the U.S. here. They are going to do battle head-to-head. It's very easy to follow, a very easy formula. You win and you keep going.
Yeah, we sorted everybody into their brackets this morning via time trials. Maddie Slingerland, I don't want to say I'm disappointed in Maddie Slingerland, but I know he was disappointed in his run. He wound up seated 9th overall. I had him in my top 5 for sure. So we're going to look for him to claw his way back to the top. He's got a long road to get there. Ben Cumberland, our number 4 seed, he did a tremendous job throughout the time trials. The underhand threw a lot of guys for a loop this morning. They were putting in small fronts or they were trying to break too much wood. Ben put in the work in the front side of his underhand block. He was rewarded with a good time. He's our number 4 seed. He fell in right behind Stirling Hart. Sterling is a premium Canadian athlete. You can see his agility as he skates across the stage in preparation for that single saw event. He also put in a wide open front face and almost dog-legged in the standing block, but got it driven off. You can see their little sigh of relief when he saw that time. Of course, if we're going to talk about the trophy event, we have to talk about Nate Hodges. Coming off a tough injury in Sydney, Australia, Easter weekend as part of the Royal Sydney Easter Show, he has been battling back. He says, I'm still pretty sore, but I can tell you as a former competitor, that go signal sounds, the adrenaline kicks in, and you just go into full automatic mode. Matt Cogar, more STIHL Timbersports titles than you can count on one hand, and he was our only contestant to be under 1 minute in our qualifying and our time trial runs this morning. So he came in at 59.16, cut a blistering standing block chop, and I think that's just a little bit of a foretaste of what we're going to see from everybody in the bracketed rounds.
It is going to be fantastic. We take it back to the stage so we can meet all of our athletes. Dave and Dave, take it over.
Thanks, Kevin and Tommy. They are ready to go back there, so let's bring them out. From Celesta, British Columbia, give a big round of applause for Bill Bischoff.
Coming to you from Middle Musquodoboit, Nova Scotia, let's give a big welcome to Geoff Larkin.
From Sheboygan, Michigan in the UP, big round of applause for Dakota Robarge.
From Matthews, North Carolina, Ben Nicely.
All the way from Resha-Gornish, New Brunswick, this is Nate Cumberland.
From Newville, Pennsylvania, let's hear it for Alex Storm.
Morgantown, West Virginia is bringing you Josh Wilson.
From Walpole, New Hampshire, always an interesting interview. Let's hear it for Trevor Beaudry.
Let's give a big Virginia Beach welcome from Union Corner, New Brunswick, Ben Cumberland.
From Marquand, Missouri, let's hear it for Aaron Hovis.
A former champion in this event and national champion as well from Diana, West Virginia, Jason Lentz.
Your winner of the Hot Sauce Showdown on Friday night. Let's hear it from Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, Maddie Slingerland.
From Memramcook, New Brunswick, Marcel Dupuis.
Your reigning and defending United States champion from North Fork, California. Let's hear it for Nate Hodges.
He won this trophy event back in 2018. Big round of applause from Squamish, British Columbia, Stirling Hart.
And defending champion in the North American Trophy race, 7-time STIHL Timbersports Series U.S. champion. Let's hear it for Matt Cogar.
And we couldn't do this event without our two head judges. Let's bring them out. Rich Hallett and Chris Alba.
All right, one big final applause for our athletes as they leave this stage. Tommy, Kevin, what do we got going on today?
Oh, well, let's explain how the trophy works. It's a pretty simple concept. You just got to win and keep going, Kevin. The more you go, the faster you get closer to that medal stand. Let's take a look at the disciplines. 4 of them here, and they're all in play back to back to back.
The STIHL Timbersports Trophy Competition. In the trophy format, athletes have to complete 4 disciplines back to back. After the start, they need to cut a complete disc with the stock saw within a 10-centimeter area. From there, the athletes have to complete the underhand chop as quickly as possible. Only after they split the block can they return to the starting point, where this time the single buck is waiting for them to cut one complete cookie. In the final discipline, the athletes have to complete the standing block chop in order to achieve the best possible overall time. Any rule infraction will result in a disqualification and the athlete will be eliminated.
Well, it's all about skill, discipline, and endurance. Maybe that's the most important element, but boy, it is a lot of fun, and of course, very, very, very simple to follow. Dave and Dave, we send it back to you.
Trophy race time here at Jackalope. What a weekend it has been so far. This is going to be exciting stuff, Dave. I am jacked up. How's everybody feeling out there today? I know
We are ready to go with our competition here. We're going to start out with our first. We'll have 8 heats in the round of 16 here, of course, and we'll take it to the quarterfinals, then the semis, and the medal round will cap the day off. So let's get started with our first of 8 matchups in the round of 16. And this is going to be a defending champion, Matthew Cogar, going up against Bill Bischoff from British Columbia in Canada. Matt Cogar, of course, the 7-time U.S. champion. He is the defending champion in North American Trophy, to be sure. Going up against Bill Bischoff, a veteran from Celeste, British Columbia.
Well, Tommy, we got to point out that Matt was our only qualifier in time trials to be under 1 minute, 59 and change to be exact. But this event is so much about efficiency, and I feel like that is one of the feathers in his cap. You need to be efficient in all your movements. You need to get maximum outcome for every stroke of the saw, for every blow of the axe, and that is something he just accelerates at. It's not just about going fast, because every time you hit, you're expending energy. This is probably the first of several times that Matt Cogar is going to have to go through this sequence today.
Well, they all have the skill set. So much of it, though, seems to be about avoiding mistakes. That's always a key element in it. We will watch these fellas. They have prepared for this for a long time.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
Matt Cogar very, very close on go, but that's what you've got to do. You've got to push for every nanosecond you can. Bill Bischoff slams the saw to the stage, and he is sprinting over to the underhand. Bischoff with a couple of hangs. He can't get that first chip to release. Cogar's not waiting around as he goes to the backside of the log. A little bit of a hang-up now for Cogar in the backside log, but he has severed the block well ahead of Bill Bischoff as he skates back over into dangerous territory with the sawdust on the floor.
Bill Bischoff still working on that underhand cut. Almost there. There we go.
Tough sawing for Matt Cogar. I believe he is now throttled back a little bit as he goes into this standing block, as he knows that he's got a handy lead over Bill Bischoff. This is not about setting a new personal best time. He knows he's got this round. He's going to try to conserve some energy because he's got many more rounds to go. Conserves energy. It still pulls off a 101 unofficially.
Bill Bischoff, the underhand, sort of got him slowed down a little bit. Started out very, very well. Very first stock saw cut here. 4 disciplines.
Yeah, Billy was the first to the underhand. Got there just ahead of Matt Cogar. Got a couple hits in. Just didn't want to release a chip on the front side of that log. He may have had a similar situation on the backside.
That block really well. Just Matt, so strong. It just over a minute in this.
It will be Matt Cogar moving on into the round of 8, the quarterfinals.
You can see how quick Matt Cogar was getting that saw up to the top of the block. Every fraction of a second you can save. I don't care if it's how you get your safety glasses off, how you transition from one event to the next. If you can save yourself one swing and a chop, every nanosecond you can save may allow you to advance to the next round.
I will get the judges ruling on who will advance.
And the winner is Matt Cogar.
There it is for Matt. Well done. He's going to go back. He's going to have to start working on.
And after that underhand, Matt Cogar heads over to the single buck. One of the things, Tommy, that can happen when you don't go full tilt, maybe you are being a little conservative, is you may not have your exact stroke in place. You may not be running the saw like you normally would. And in this case, Matt Cogar got a little heavy on that nose, bound the saw. You saw it bow. Then that causes you to rock the heel down to try to get the nose released. That throws you off. He hangs again. Beautiful looking front face on this standing block for Matt Cogar. Goes into a very small back face. You see he's already breaking off. One more hit. Beautifully done from Matt Cogar. His standing blocks, I got to watch him cut a couple weeks ago in another part of Virginia, and just an absolute clinic of a standing block cutter.
Well, there's your first two times that they come out the winner. Of course, Matt Cogar there, 1 minute 00.94. Sort of looked like he was on cruise control, but cruise control for Matt Cogar is different than it is for most everyone else on planet Earth.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. He had more hustle at the start of that than we saw in time trials, but then once he got into the single, I think he started to slow down a little bit. He knew that Billy was struggling with that underhand, and he did, I think, set the cruise control a little bit. I think we'll see easily a time in the mid-50s here today when these guys really get in and start switching it on.
As we said, it's a gorgeous day here, the Atlantic coast of Virginia. And of course, all the activities from jackalope. Huge, gigantic crowds out here watching a whole host of things, everything from skateboarding to Moto X demos and BMX demos. We got skimboard racing out there, freestyle. And of course, above us, right about from that angle right there, if you could tilt up a little bit, you would see a high wire. And they're racing on the high wire about 6 stories ahead of us. Now for some fan interaction.
On the board now, if you want to join us at home, scan in, play along with us some trivia here. And we'll see if we know this one, Super Dave. We'll see if we know this. All right, here comes the poll now. How many U.S. championship titles does Matt Cogar have? Is it 2, 5, 7, or 11? I see a lot of 7s out there at the hands. Yeah, absolutely. And the correct answer is, somebody voted 5. They are... No, you see Rich Hallett, the cut is bad. That's the Rich Hallett thumbs down there. It is 7. So if you got that right on your phones, take that over to the tent. Get yourself one of those awesome Steel 100 hats.
Matt Cogar has finished his job for heat number 1. He moves on, and we're ready now for heat number 2. As we have our contestants approaching the stage right now on the left, on stand number 1, it'll be Trevor Beaudry going up against Matt Slingerland. Matt Slingerland, who 2 nights ago celebrated the victory in the Hot Sauce Showdown. He took some time to celebrate that, but we had to talk to him about what's on his mind today.
When you're putting them all together and you're doing it nonstop and you're sprinting against other athletes, you have no time to think, you have no time to react. You just do. So it's one of those events you got to be a little bit more prepared for. Just have to kind of keep your head about you, and you don't really have time to think. So just go for it. It's all out dead sprint.
Well, Matt Slingerland, I know you watched him with interest in our time trials, Kevin. He had probably a lower finish than, you would have expected. But you say, don't take our eyes off this guy.
Yeah, I just, boy, there's got to be more to it. The way he's been cutting, the positive headspace he's in. He's made physical changes. Like, I feel like this is a good year coming up for Matty Slingerland, and I don't think we saw his potential in the time.
Again, going up against Trevor Beaudry, Walpole, New Hampshire, the school teacher who has done very well. Acquitted himself well in both championship level and in the trophy
Athletes
division.
ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
I think this is going to be advantage Slingerland in this stock saw. But I tell you what, Beaudry's right there with him. A little bit of a bobble from Beaudry, but basically a dead heat tie into the underhand. Matty Slingerland gets the first blow into that block, but the axe is hanging for Matty Slingerland. Beaudry is just on a tear right now as he gets into the backside of this log. We've got a race on here between these two guys. Trevor Beaudry is off to the single buck. We'll watch him. Oh, a big hang at the top for Matty Slingerland. Beaudry is over halfway through the log. Slingerland's going to have to kick this into gear, or he's only going to get one round of fun here today. Beaudry is on a mission into the standing block chop. Axe is clean in and out. Beaudry is putting in clean lines. Beaudry looks like he's got tons of gas in the tank as he opens 1-1 in the backside and now chases these corners. Slingerland into the backside now. Beaudry's going to drive it off.
Personal best for Beaudry in this event? No.
Trevor Beaudry came to play today. A new personal best for New personal best for Beaudry, maybe a DQ anyways for Matty Slingerland.
See the
Chris Alba just threw the flag. The flag landed on Trevor Beaudry's side of things, but it was tossed by Chris Alba, the stand 2 judge. Again, doesn't mean there is a DQ, just means they're looking at something.
And the winner is Trevor Beaudry.
Wow. What a call for Trevor.
Trevor Beaudry, Walpole, New Hampshire. We talked about. I love cross country skiing too. You do it for fitness. You said you're fit this year. You've been riding the bike, the stationary bike, on the skis all winter. You had trouble in the hot saw. I can't even remember. I think your chain blew, but it's trouble in the hot saw. But what a great rebound to come out and cut a 106 in this round. You're moving on, bud.
Yeah, feel pretty good. Hot saw, I still ended up 4th, even though I blew a chain off. So, we'll take that. This race, wood chopping is fun. This race is not. But you gotta be in good shape, good condition, and cross training really seems to help pay off for me. Keep some of the stress off the joints in the off season. Let yourself recover some. Get back into chopping.
I'm going to let you go recover for the quarterfinal rounds, my friends. You're not done. We'll see this guy again, Trevor Beaudry, Walpole, New Hampshire.
Well, Trevor Beaudry says, this event is not fun. I disagree wholeheartedly. Out of the entire STIHL Timbersports season, I love trophy racing. But it may be because I'm not the one on the stage competing in this endurance event. So Trevor Beaudry through the stock saw, very smooth, over into that underhand. And one of the things, Tommy, is we talk about the smashing all these events together. Well, competitors don't really get to mentally change gears. They also don't get to mentally change what they're wearing. So Trevor Beaudry and Matty Slinger are both wearing their metal caulked or their metal spiked shoes. I would want those on for my standing block and my single block. I hated wearing those for underhand, but you don't have time for a footwear change in this event. So these guys are really just instantly transitioning between disciplines and making the best of it. 1 minute of total body blowout. This standing block my hat's off to Trevor Beaudry. Nice clean face into the backside of it. This is the first time I feel like I saw him start to lose steam was in the very backside of the last event. Other than that, cross-training is paying off. And congratulations, Trevor Beaudry. You get to do it again now, buddy.
Yeah, Trevor Beaudry moving into the quarterfinals there to join Matt Cogar so far. Those two are populating that list, of which will be 8 at the end of it. You can see how it works right there. Cogar and Beaudry there on your top left there. Into their brackets, ready to go, but they're going to have to wait for the rest of the heats here. In the round of 16, there's got to rank as a bit of an upset there, I would think.
Yeah, you know, this is Timber Sports, Tommy. Just when I think, like, I know what's going to go, and so-and-so should beat so-and-so, just throw the scorecards out the window.
All right, we are good to go for the next heat. Heat number 3 in the round of 16. Ben Cumberland, one of the top performers. He was the highest finisher last year from Canada in the trophy competition, going up against Alexander Storm of Pennsylvania. Strong, young up-and-comer. Now he's a little bit more of the advanced. But Ben Cumberland coming in here, hoping to improve. All he has to do is win one more time than he did last year.
Last year in 2025, being blessed to make it to the finals, it definitely clicked something in my brain that told me that, hey, Ben, you can do this. And so all the glory to God for how I resulted last year. And this year I want to just put my best foot forward and see if I can actually stay in the pain cave and make it to the finals again.
Ben Cumberland, very powerful athlete. A lot of accolades in Canada. Came down yesterday and held up the side for our neighbors to the north.
Indeed, yeah. Ben's just been cutting exceptionally well, especially this trophy event.
Warm up your saws.
I'm curious to see how Alex did something weird in time trials, and I don't know if it was intentional, but he brought the stock saw like halfway across the stage with him on his way to the underhand. It's almost like he just forgot to set it down. So I don't know if that was an intentional thing to
Athletes
get it out
ready.
of the way for single buck.
Stand to
we'll
your
see if he
timber.
repeats that performance here.
3, 2, 1, go!
Oh, Alex Storm. Wow, that was really quick on the go. Not sure if that was a legal jump or not, but there it is. He leaves the saw behind that time. I don't know if he didn't get the saw shut off in time trials, but he literally brought it halfway across the stage to his underhand block. It did not seem like good strategy. Ben Cumberland on stand number 1 is having all kinds of trouble. That axe is not free. Oh, that is so frustrating. That is my biggest frustration as a competitor in this sport was when you did not have a free axe. Into the middle of the wood, that axe is freeing up. Alex Storm is kind of hung up a little bit on the bottom of his block. We've got another tight race here, though, Tommy.
Absolutely.
Cumberland through the single buck first. Hopefully he's got a better axe block compatibility issue here in the standing block compared to that underhand. Storm is about a third of a block behind right now as Cumberland turns to the back. Ben Cumberland, I was about to say that axe really likes that block. I'd maybe set that aside for my underhand or find a corresponding axe for my underhand. The interesting thing in this format, these guys will have an axe that likes this flavor of white pine. And they might run it in their underhand and their standing block. Well, in this event, you can't really run it in both. So you kind of pick the best, I guess, you got for each situation.
Right. Displaying the tool du jour for us right there. Let's hear from the judges. They've had a look at everything, I do believe. Okay. They've had a look, and now they act upon it. Rich Hallett throwing the yellow flag down.
That might be a jumped gun for Alex Storm. He was super quick on that start. And the fact that the judges are just kind of milling about right now, they're not looking at a disc or a block or whatever. They're waiting for video review to confirm at something like 60 frames a second, maybe even a higher frame rate now with newer cameras, whether Alex Storm jumped the gun on the start.
All right, gentlemen, DQ on this stand, underhand not severed. The winner is Ben Cumberland.
Ben Cumberland
So I was wrong. It was not a jumped gun for Alex Storm. He just was really quick. And you've got to be. Again,
yes.
Fractions of a second matter. He was quicker to the wood than Ben Cumberland in that stock saw, but he was not quicker through the wood than Ben Cumberland. Trouble for Alex Storm was actually in his underhand, where he did not completely sever the fibers of the wood. Ben Cumberland, there's a look at his underhand chop. I don't see any sticks in the axe there, but when he went to open that block, it did not like that wood. Maybe a little bit drier on the outside. I'm not sure what happened. He may have hung the heel in the block, but it was not a happy day. Ben Cumberland into the single block. You see the nose of that saw disappear back into the block. He's getting his money's worth out of that thing. And then he rolled into the standing block. Very nice. Opened up the front side of that log very cleanly. There you see a stick of the axe again. 1-1. Now chases far near corners. Again, another stick. So he's not really, doesn't seem like he's sticking the corners of the axe. Just diving into the wood and not wanting to come back out.
Well, despite the axe trouble there, a great time, a personal best for Ben Cumberland at 1:05.32 for our silver medalist from last year in this trophy competition. He seems to be well on his way so far. And there he is. You see him at the top of the heat 3 ones there. He'll be joining Beaudry and Cogar. So we move forward, trying to get done with this field of 16. Back to the stage.
All right, folks. We are live streaming this around the world right now. If you'd like to show your fandom to the STIHL universe, you can scan in on the QR code up on the board right now, and we're going to show our fans around the world. There's the guys in the truck, the JM guys over there in the production truck, showing off the Bassmasters logo. There we go. We got some fans taking in the sun here.
Well, hang on. Kevin and Tommy up in the booth were so upset yesterday. Kevin had a full-on meltdown at dinner that his face was not put on this fan cam. So we're going to hang on. And even our producer said, I didn't have a lot to choose from. He said, wait a minute. We were on there. He's got plenty to choose from. There's hundreds of them. Do we want to see Kevin and Tommy? We have to listen to them all day.
Absolutely. And you can scan this QR code at home if you're watching as well. We saw some fans from around the world checking in yesterday during our North American Women's Cup. There are some of our camera guys down here having some fun. Oh, and they're rocking the STIHL 100 hats. I love to see that. Love to see that.
And you know what, Dave? What a great opportunity to give a lot of credit to our stage crew, the film crew, a lot of the JM crew. They're getting on a plane tomorrow to head to Budapest to get ready. So how about a big round of applause for everybody behind the scenes that just goes without enough credit.
Oh, we're at full-scale celebration down there in Virginia Beach and Neptune's Garden. That's where we are, right behind that giant statue of Neptune. If you've ever been here, you've seen it. You can see it from a mile away. We are just behind that where all the jackalope activities are taking place, the ones that aren't going over our heads right now as far as the line walking. And ready now to continue with the round of 16. This should be a good matchup right here. Another Cumberland from Canada. This one's Nathan. He's a good one, too. Very strong athlete going up against one of the biggest and strongest ever from America, Jason Lentz.
Now, Tommy, Jason also was on my list of, I don't know, just not quite where I thought he would be in the time trials round. See if he can find another gear. Maddie Slingerland obviously did not, knocked out in the first round, and I think that was stunning for everyone in the sport.
Yeah.
Except for Trevor Beaudry, who was thrilled with that. Great performance from Trevor Beaudry.
Yeah, Jason Lentz did 1:12 in the qualifying round, which you think is probably him coasting there. We'll see if that's the case.
Warm up your saws.
Nathan Cumberland, 1:21.13 in his qualifying round here.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Oh, a bobble from Nate Cumberland right out of the gate on stand 2. You got to be quick with the eyes to catch it, but his top hand did not grab. He may have caught the chain break a little bit on the way down, but it was not a clean grab. In the end, though, it didn't matter. He got through the wood and is neck and neck with Jason Lentz right now. He's into the back of his underhand block. I don't think he got the job done in the front. Let's see if he can prove me wrong by driving this off. There it is. Nate Cumberland drives off. We're headed for another upset here, folks. That axe ricocheting around for Jason Lentz. Tommy, we might have back to like 2 major upsets in this sport. If both Maddie Slingerland and Jason Lentz are eliminated in the first round, Nate Cumberland is wading into this log in the front. He might be losing a little bit of steam, and boy, Jason Lentz has got motivation to find another gear. Nate Cumberland into the backside of this log. Jason's got a lot of work to do. He's going to have to drive this off. It's Nate Cumberland. Unbelievable. Nate Cumberland. Look at the expression on his face. He is thrilled. He just dethroned Jason Lentz. Unbelievable.
Nate Cumberland having a little trouble in the hot saw a few nights ago, but man taking down the former world champion Jason Lentz there. That has got to be the thrill of a lifetime.
Head Judge Rich Hallett out at the edge of the stage waiting for some contestants. I don't think they're reviewing anything. I think he's literally just waiting for Jason and Nate to come down and get the official word.
And the winner is Nathan Cumberland.
Wow. I stuck my axe in the quick interview with Nathan Cumberland.
Check the times. I'm pretty sure Jason won it.
Quick talk with Head Judge Rich Hallett. Get an explanation, but everything's fine. Bad news, buddy. You gotta do it.
So, Tommy, I'm reading lips and looking across the stage here, but Nate Cumberland is saying something about check the times. I'm not sure what's going on. There's something cooking. Like he's the winner, he's advancing, but
lean to the left temporarily. You want to talk about that axe? Yeah, let's talk. Get that bad boy out there. Whose idea was this? This is made in Canada. Most axes we see coming from Australia and New Zealand. Canada getting in on the game. Talk about it.
Yeah, this is a gentleman named Taz out of British Columbia. Next new gen CNC axes. He's been working on them for about 2 years, and they're cutting well.
Can you explain the dimples for us and the
Yeah, so the purpose of them is to reduce friction. They also hold the STP, the lube that we use. He's also got them set up for hard hitting in the back. But I do want to point out, I stuck my axe in the block at the end of that heat. The judges are going to review it. I'm pretty sure Jason's moving on.
Oh, when the block was severed. So what you're saying, your standing block was severed. After the block is severed, you're not allowed to touch it, or basically the time would be they would add that time in.
Yeah, exactly. So at home when we're training, usually you're so gassed, you just throw your axe in the block quick. One of the rules with steel is anytime you touch that block, that counts as a hit. I finished, forgot, stuck the axe in, so credits to Jason. He followed the rules, and he's moving forward.
Okay, we'll wait on the official call. Thank you for your honesty. One of the best, greatest gentlemen out there in the sport, Nathan Cumberland.
Well, let's look at this one again, Kevin. I sure didn't see it.
Well, I didn't notice it because it was in our mind. Well, there it is. I was talking about that in the start. There you see the tangle up with the chain break as his hands come down to grab that saw. But I was kind of reading lips, and I could hear through the stage mics a little bit of talk about something about an axe and check the times.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about it here when we get to the end of the event where Nate blew himself in on this potential infraction that may have gone otherwise unnoticed. I thought Nate actually had a small face put in the front side of this log. I was worried that he was going to lose a lot of time driving it off, but it was actually Jason Lentz that struggled to drive off. As you see here, Nate Cumberland transitioning over to the single buck. I think everybody in this sport was waiting to see Jason find that next gear and chase Nate Cumberland down, and it just never happened. Nate stayed ahead of him the entire way.
Yeah, never let the door open until apparently the very end we're about to see.
So let's take a look at this, Tommy. At the end here, we'll watch him finish this block. So what Nate Cumberland is saying is he finished the block and then stuck the axe in the stump, stuck the axe in the bottom. Per Timber Sports rules, let's see right now. Boom.
Oh.
And he realizes he pulls it back out, and you see at that point, and that's why he's rolling his head and laughing. You see at that point, Jason Lentz is done. There he sticks it, and he goes, yeah, okay.
Oh.
So nobody else noticed that. We were over watching Jason Lentz finish his cut, and
well, there's really only one other sport where they call it on themselves, and that's golf, and that's to be honorable.
Lentz is the winner.
So you would add, so would you technically add the time when he sets the axe in the block?
Yeah, that counts as his last hit, and so that changes the time, making Lentz the winner.
Tough job for you, Rich. Great job, great call.
Man.
Unfortunately, the big Canadian, we won't be seeing again.
Just certainly an avoidable mistake, but the heat of battle, et cetera, et cetera.
Well, and what Nate was saying in the interview with Dave Jewett earlier is that's just sort of commonplace. Like you finish a chop in your chopping shed, you stick the axe in the bottom of the block, just resting position.
All right, well, we move on. They will change up the lineup in the quarters coming up to reflect that rules violation there, but we're ready to go with Aaron Hodges to be on stand number 2 and over on stand number 1. Nate Hodges, former U.S. and world champion. And Nate Hodges would like to add this, a victory in trophy to his trophy case. What's going through his mind on Championship Sunday?
About 8 weeks ago, I was in Sydney, and I fell out of the springboard event in Sydney and broke 4 vertebrae in my back. So I'm not running on all cylinders. So my normal training regimen leading into this definitely got switched up a bit. So I let it heal as much as I could, and really only started training a couple weeks ago. I tried to pack a lot of exercise into a 2-week time period.
Well, Nate Hodges playing through a number of issues for this year of 2026, but he would sure like to get on the board, get on the medal stand, and collect the number 1 spot. Had a qualifying time of 102.27. That was second overall during the
Warm
time
up your
trials.
saws.
Aaron Hodges, you see his personal best there, 134.30. Southeast Missouri.
Aaron Hodges had an interesting backstory coming into this trophy event, too. We'll talk about that once we get these guys off and running.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
So I mentioned Aaron Hodges had an interesting backstory. He actually got 2 weeks of intensive training courtesy of David Moses. David flew in from the West Coast, and he told Aaron Hodges, this is according to David Moses telling me, that he told Aaron, he said, get in the best shape you can, because when I get there, I'm going to tear you apart. And so Aaron Hodges trained with David Moses and another competitor. The other competitor and David Moses went alternated back and forth, and Aaron Hodges got 0 breaks, just had to keep cutting. And this is where it's going to pay off, is as we get into these last 2 disciplines. We heard Hodges say he did not have the time. He was healing. He didn't have the time to really train for endurance. He is starting to slow a little bit. He may know that he's ahead of Hodges, but Hodges is, come on! Aaron Hodges with a terrible hang at the bottom. I was about to say Hodges is gaining on Hodges, but with a terrible hang at the bottom, he just lost a ton of time. Hodges into the back side of this log, opens 1 and 1, back of his log drives off, finishes that top.
Things up. We've been training hard for this event, folks. Keep cheering on down there on position 2.
More for Hodges, and there you go. Wow. Trouble with the single buck.
And I feel so bad for Aaron. I know how much work he put into this event. It's a tough break for him with that hang in the single buck. But even with that hang in the single buck, we'll take a look at it right here. They got a little bit of hang up at the top. You got to remember, these saws are cutting a small amount of wood at the top of the log, then the entire diameter of the log as you get close to the middle, and then at the bottom, when you're most amped up and you're trying to drive it off, you're back down to just a tongue depressor, a small amount of wood, and the few teeth on a tiny amount of wood exert a ton of pressure. I know that wasn't what Aaron Hovis wanted, but he shattered his personal best.
And the winner
He
is
did.
Nate Hodges.
I think that probably takes about 10 seconds off of his personal best. You get rid of the hang in the single buck event, and there's another few seconds off there. Aaron Hovis is putting the work in, and it's paying off.
Meanwhile, Nate Hodges really did not have a great run compared to his qualifying time. About 10 seconds slower, but he didn't need any more than that.
Yeah, it was enough to get the job done. I wonder about Nate as we get deeper into the rounds. So first event, qualifying run, lots of gas in the tank. This is the second time that he's completed this set of exercises. He's now going to be heading into his third time today completing this set of exercises.
Let's hear
Nate Hodges, one of the most transparent, honest athletes that you could talk to on the stage. Talked to you last weekend. I go, Nate, everybody's downplaying their training. Here, come on over here, bud. What are these? I said, Nate, have you been training? You're like, damn right I've been training, Dave. You said, in all honesty, I have to train. I have to get fit. I need my fitness. And you made a great cut out there, but you could be faster. A little trouble with the single buck. Anyway, you talk.
Well, yeah, a lot to cram in here. Training is important. As you see, this is an endurance event. He who puts in the most work is probably going to come out on top. And, I threw my single buck I think it went into the groove of the deck there between the deck boards. And had I thrown it down and just left it, we all know it would have bent that's a $3,000 saw. I would have bent and ruined the teeth. So I had to take a little second there and get it back out. Someone will have to check for the next race.
I'm watching your underhand swing. Am I right that you used to choke up a little farther on the handle? You actually had like a stopper, had some tape, and now you're all the way back at the deer foot. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I've been struggling with handles for a long time in the sport, and leather stocking, they make professional baseball bats. They've came out with some new handle designs that are awesome, so I've been able to get my swing a little more proper based on a comfortable handle. So, yeah, it is different, Dave. I'm trying to swing like the rest of the guys.
Thanks, Nate. Nate Hodges moving on to the quarterfinal round, coming all the way from California, looking for his first North American Trophy event championship.
There's a nice look down the line with Hodges in the near ground and Hovis in the far ground. I do have to chuckle a little bit because we keep saying that this is an endurance event at just over a minute long, Tommy. When we're not running a marathon or a triathlon, but I can't emphasize enough that this is a total body blowout. Every muscle you have and some that you don't even know you have are all coming into play in these disciplines. So when you talk about explosive energy for just over a minute, just utilizing all these different parts of your body, it really does feel like a true endurance event. Then when you win and advance, you get to do it all over again and all over again.
It is cumulative. Every athlete tells us that.
Yeah, and so when you watch here, this is what he's talking about at the end of that single buck. You saw the nose of the saw get stuck maybe in a gap in the deck or something, and he was wise enough not to just drop it and run away. Opening side of his standing block chop, actually the block split. That's not a DQ. He had screws, like all competitors are required to have screws in a ring around the top of that block to hold it together. If it falls apart, even with those screws, not a problem.
Well, Nate Hodges moving on to the round of 8, the quarterfinals, which are coming up, of course, immediately after we finish here. But some heats left to settle, that is for sure. Next one up, it's going to be Dakota Robarge of Michigan going up against North Carolina's Ben Nicely. Ben Nicely has made appearances in both of these North American Trophy tournaments. Acquitted himself quite well. How did he prepare for today, and how is he feeling as he gets ready to take on his first match?
For me, training for this event looks way different. This is strictly endurance. I chop a lot of harder logs for this, and I do them in order. So I'm chopping a lot of yellow poplar logs to get ready for this event, and then I'm trying to do them 1, 2, 3, 4 all at a time, just to build up the endurance.
Ben Nicely getting ready to go. He'll be over there on stand number 2. Ben Nicely qualified with the time of 1:15.94. I think he's capable of a good bit faster than that. You would think today, and he knows he's going to have to bring it. He wants to get past Dakota Robarge, who actually qualified 2 seconds
Warm
faster.
up your saws.
As the brackets were sorting themselves out through time trials, this one really got my attention. I think this is going to be a very tight race. I'm going like discipline through, discipline and to discipline with these two gentlemen. Who might have an edge on who? I think this is going to be a really tight race.
3, 2, 1, go!
A little bit slow on the start maybe for Dakota Robarge, but both guys up into the log quick. It is advantaged nicely into the underhand.
Yeah, we talked so much about Robarge, but I'm going to give advantage to Ben.
Boy, Ben Nicely just drawing massive slabs out of that underhand. That axe is cutting. He is putting it in the right spot. He's got the bottom of that log completely hoed out. Robarge now into the back, a bit behind Ben Nicely. He's going to have to kick it into gear.
And nicely severed there. Onto the single buck.
There it is, Dakota Robarge now over to the single buck as Ben Nicely hangs up. Robarge says, thank you very much. I need a little window of opportunity. We've seen Ben Nicely now struggling at the bottom here. Dakota Robarge may have a chance to reel him in as Robarge now hangs. About a 4-hit advantage for Ben Nicely over Dakota Robarge. Beautiful big front face for Nicely. Tons of slope into the backside. He is only about 2 hits now ahead of Dakota Robarge into the back of this log.
And he's got it.
He's got it. He had a much cleaner, more open face just ahead of Robarge. What a race from 2 exceptional choppers.
Unofficially a 1.0659. Unofficially a personal best for Ben Nicely. We knew he had better time in him than the one he qualified with. But that was really good. He's one of the fastest in transitions of all of our competitors here. We watched him all three. All 3 now.
He uses those legs and just stretches it out.
Oh, yeah. He takes 2 steps and he's at the next station.
Ruling here. I didn't see anybody slam an axe into the log, so that's good.
And the winner is Ben Nicely.
Nicely taking it down. Congratulations on moving on. We'll let him go get ready for the next round.
There's Ben Nicely as he's up and into the block very cleanly. Little bit of an angle. He's cutting into the log slightly. I'm getting really picky right now. You see him twist his wrist up, locks that chain break, and then look at how he attacks the front of this underhand. You see the massive slabs of wood falling out of this. He does a beautiful job hoeing out the bottom of that block. In the time trials, we had a ton of competitors in the underhand in particular that were struggling to finish the underhand. Usually that stems from problems at the start of the underhand, the bottom of the front face, not getting that wood out. But you saw for Ben Nicely, he had the front of that log completely hogged out. This was a chance for Dakota Robarge to catch back up, was in the single buck. Big hang there for Ben Nicely, and he runs so much slope on this saw that in time trials, he actually dove the nose of the saw into the deck. Almost did it again here, and he may need to consider flattening that cut out a little bit. Ben Nicely into that standing block chop, using those long arms, long legs, great slope, little bit of a missed hit there on that far up hit, gets a little bit pinched in here on the front, ends up putting some straight in drivers. that axe hanging up a little bit for nicely. This is when you are just relying on core muscles. Your arms are smoked at this point.
Well, there you see Ben Nicely joining the fray there, going to head into quarterfinals. And now there are 6 who have qualified. Means we have a couple more heats left. And we will get on with those final 2 heats momentarily.
T-shirt out there. How's the crowd feeling out there today at Jackalope?
And Dave, how about a shout out to Mika DeForge, the executive producer of Jackalope, for bringing it here to Virginia Beach.
Absolutely.
And rumor has it we're coming back for the next 2 years.
I cannot wait to be back here next year. But all right, how about right now? Who wants a T-shirt out there? You know how it is. The loudest cheers get the T-shirt shot in their direction. So let's hear it. We got some good screams over. Oh, yeah, we got. Keep it going. Keep it going. Who's out there? I got to be careful not to be playing a game of Duck Hunter with the guys above. There we go. Keep it going. We got more. We got more. I keep hearing right here, I think if I shoot this thing at you, it's going to be a problem. I think we got to go long distance. We're going to jack this thing up to 11. Here we go. Keep cheering. Keep cheering. And there it is. Heat 7 now coming to the stage on position 1 out of British Columbia. Let's hear it for Stirling Hart.
All right, let's go with the next to last heat of a round of 16 here from Canada. Also from Canada, his opponent, Stirling Hart, on stand number 1. Former world champion in trophy. And Geoff Larkin, his opponent. And what is the former world trophy champion? Think about his chances here today. He was just 1 spot out of the medal stand last year. Can he make it a little bit farther this time?
My preparation this year, it's been a little different than past years. I sustained a pretty good rib injury a few days out of the World Championship last year in November. Tore a bunch of the cartilage all in my ribs, and it turns out your ribs are a pretty integral part of single saw, standing block, and pretty much every timber sports event. So in a way, I think that kind of wounded animal mentality does kind of help in some of these events, because you go in and you got no excuse but to grit your teeth and try and find a way to win.
I've heard it put another way: beware the sick guy in any sport at any time. The wounded animal. I'm going to use that from now on. I like that.
Backed into the corner and hissing is Stirling Hart.
Geoff Larkin, his opponent
Warm
here.
up your saws.
Big, strong competitor. Geoff Larkin coming to us from Middle Miskatawbin, Nova Scotia.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
Slight advantage to Hart on that start.
Slight advantage there for Hart, but Larkin to the
And I'll tell you what, Larkin, though, just a nanosecond ahead as far as axe into the block. A glancing blow from Larkin, though. That was an extremely unproductive hit, as he now slaps another hit in the same spot. He keeps stepping in that right side of that underhand chop. I think he's going to have a hard time finishing it off. I think it's going to be an advantage. Stirling Hart coming out of this underhand. There it is. Hart finishes off quite handily. Larkin has got a rough-looking front face into this underhand. You see him having to put in some massive drivers in the back. Hart with a big hesitation in the middle of the log, but he's getting it together now.
Stirling Hart, pretty good lead right now. About 8 hits ahead right now. of Jeff Larkin.
Larkin seems to be losing gas a little bit. Hart with a hanging axe in the backside of that log. Oh, it just saps so much energy out of you. Efficiency is key here. Axe smooth in, axe clean out. That's nothing that Stirling's doing wrong. That's just not a great axe block compatibility.
There we go, Jeff Larkin. Well, Stirling Hart, official time now is in.
Just unbelievable athlete.
And he's a good bit off of his personal best in that one, but that was enough to get the job done as he and Jeff Larkin descend from the stage and get ready for Judge Rich Howell.
And the winner is Stirling Hart.
Yet not the best time for Stirling Hart, but a good enough time for Stirling Hart. He takes down Jeff Larkin. He'll get to advance to the next round and do it all again. We've talked about his injuries. We've talked about his training. He is back up to speed, but probably not 110% of where he'd like to be. But did the job on this underhand, did a beautiful job opening up the front side of this log, had it clean through and through. You see him drive the top, goes back, kind of just puts it not quite all the way to the bottom, has to drive a little bit lower to get those bottom fibers. Things went awry in the single buck, though, for Stirling Hart. Great through the top. Then he gets into the big wood in the middle. Usually this is the safety zone where the saw has more teeth balanced across more wood. But things just got kind of gitchy in there and just did not look smooth. Opening face on the standing block was good. Watch him get into the backside here. Let's watch how he opens this block up. He goes with one far hit, and the heel of that axe hangs in there. Then he goes near. Again, the axe hangs, but now with these two downward drivers, he clears chips and leaves one chip hanging right in the face. I always hate when that happens. There's a good chance the axe will catch that and skate up the face of the log.
Well, Stirling's going to hope that this is his one-off performance in this day's competition here. He cut about 4 seconds slower than he did in the qualifying round. Nonetheless, good enough to make it into the quarterfinals, and Stirling Hart, our 7th athlete to join that group. We have one more heat remaining.
Out of this next heat, our next heat getting set up shortly will be Marcel Dupuis taking on Josh Wilson. Marcel Dupuis, the Canadian, taking on West Virginia's Josh Wilson. You can scan the QR code, vote along at home. Who you think is going to advance in this next round? Who do you think it's going to be, Dave? Who do you think? Do you think it's going to be Wilson, or do you think it's going to be Dupuis?
Oh boy. Josh's wife likes me right now.
That's fair.
And she makes me laugh. So I gotta.
The fans think Marcel Dupuis.
Her laugh is infectious. So, I'm gonna say, you want my full honesty? A year ago, Josh Wilson. Today, Marcel.
All right.
I think Josh has more.
All right. Well, let's get this one going. Just about ready to start out our final heat in the round of 16. We have 7 qualified already for the quarterfinals. Just putting the finishing touches on the stage right now. As you can see, the whole Jackalope crowd out there getting going. When they're full steam, this is the final day of the 3 days of Jackalope, Virginia Beach. Certainly very thankful to those folks for including us. We think it's a perfect spot for us to land here in Neptune's Garden. And we have our athletes out on the stage and ready to go. On stand number 1, it will be the man known as the Beast from the East, Marcel Dupuis. From Canada, going up against West Virginia's Josh Wilson.
Well, Tommy, this was another matchup on our dance card that I'm very curious to watch. a lot like we saw with Robarge and Nicely. I go through the matchups like, okay, well, so-and-so in this event, so-and-so in that event. And this one just, this is going to be another tough fight.
Marcel qualified with a time that was well off his personal best. Maybe he was just kind of saving up, trying to take it smooth. So different, this type of competition versus the way we do it when we do a championship. Guys that do visualization, run-throughs, pantomiming the actions. That's not available here. You got to be ready to go. Your muscle memory has to kick in fast.
Yeah, and even just like the single buck, the time that's spent setting up, getting your feet in the right placement, getting your body the right distance from the log, all those little details. No. In this one, you jump
Warm
off
up
your
your
underhand,
saws.
sprint across the stage, do your best to get your feet in like the right position, first shot instantaneously, and just start ripping on it.
You got to be automatic in this one, that's for sure. Just about ready.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
Well, once again, I think this is going to be a close race between both of these competitors. Both exceptional stock saw operators. Look at this. Synchronized starts to the underhand. Boy, Dupuis has got a massive front face worked into that log. Wilson is just a little bit tighter, turning at the same time. I thought I heard somebody say this was going to be a good race, Tommy.
Yeah, that was you.
Oh, it was me.
So it was.
There it is. Dupuis is off. I think that surprised him even. So there's the first advantage we've seen in this race with Dupuis with about a 1 or 1.5 hit lead in the underhand. Well, I tell you, Josh Wilson, though, I think is reeling him in the single buck.
Oh, man, here we go. Let's go.
This is just a spectacular race between two titans. Dupuis into the back, about 1 hit ahead of Wilson. It doesn't mean much, though, if Josh Wilson's done the job better on the front. They're both driving now. No, Wilson goes back to draw another chip. Josh Wilson, about a half a hit ahead of Marcel Dupuis. Unbelievable.
As Dupuis stares skyward. And there he's looking at
what a race. That was by far the tightest race we've had today.
Oh, my God.
That may be one of the tightest races we've ever had on this stage.
Undoubtedly. Great effort. These guys are all in. They gave it. They left nothing on the table. And, of course, that's the point of the whole thing.
It's been better. Marcel cut him off in the underhand. Wilson just reeled.
The standing block, I was speechless. Neither one of those standing blocks wanted to come apart. I thought Wilson was driving. He had to go back and draw another chip. I couldn't see Marcel's block, thanks to Marcel, but he seemed to be struggling with the backside, his standing block, too.
Here's the verdict from the judge.
And the winner is Josh Wilson.
Let's just watch this whole thing again, Tommy.
I'm all in.
It's so worth it.
Please.
So both of these guys are exceptional stock saw operators. It was by the slightest of margins advantage Josh Wilson. It didn't matter much, though. They were tied at the transition, literally axe to wood at the same time in the underhand. Then it was a slight advantage to Dupuis on stand number 1. I think he just had a little bit more opened up in the front side of this log, and I think the finish actually surprised Marcel because he made the finish, the block severed. Yeah, you see it. He goes back to hit it again as it's falling apart. But Josh Wilson gained ground and started to reel in Marcel Dupuis in this single buck. Both these guys start to show a little bit of fatigue, but Josh Wilson just holds it together. The standing block, though, neither one of these guys put in a great standing block cut. I couldn't really see what was going wrong for either of them, but the block was not driving off. Josh Wilson, when I saw him start to drive, I thought the block, there's some of the problem for Josh Wilson. You can see a bit of a tight face. And for Marcel Dupuis, the axe was glancing on his upward blows, and he had a small scarf ultimately in the front side of his log. So rough, sloppy front faces on these standing blocks did not give them good fresh air to drive into. And there's a great look at just how tight this race was between Josh Wilson and Marcel Dupuis.
Well, it's a great way to experience the side-by-side two-box right there. Absolutely brilliant. Oh, my goodness. Well, here we go. We are filled up. Take a look at the round of 16, and your winners in orange there are the ones advancing to the quarters. Going to be Cogar, Beaudry, Cumberland, Ben Cumberland, Jason Lentz, Nate Hodges, Ben Nicely, Stirling, Hart, and Josh Wilson. We have seen some fantastic performances and undoubtedly some upsets, Kevin.
Yeah, upsets are just abounding, and then surprise reversals. Jason Lentz is back in. We thought he was out. Maddie Slingerland, the surprise being out. Chaos everywhere.
Quarters are next.
When you spend 100 years building chainsaws, you get really good at building chainsaws. So when STIHL built the mower, we built the chainsaw mowers. New blade, same bloodline.
Some days, everything goes your way. This is not one of those days. Good thing the Gator XUV can navigate rugged terrain and haul whatever the day demands.
Pull me out!
Because when work happens, you've got a Gator for that. The Gator XUV, built for every kind of workday.
The power's out!
Learn more at an authorized John Deere dealer.
Conserving moments like this. The Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation is building a strong future for all big game. 1 square mile a day. That's our mission. More access, healthier habitats. Your support will help shape what's next.
American Trophy is sponsored by STIHL, by John Deere, by the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, and by Jackalope, Virginia Beach. Many thanks to all its sponsors, all these partners. Help make this thing possible. Bigger than ever, the trophy. Just gaining some of the momentum, picking up with some of the momentum of Jackalope, which is a force of nature. This is a great gathering of kindred spirits, I think, here. These timber sports fans and action sports fans from really all over the world who have come here to take part in everything that's going on this weekend in Virginia Beach, Virginia. Met with perfect weather days 1, 2, and 3. Just been absolutely very, very fortunate in that respect. Well, we have finished our round of 16. And now we are ready to go with our quarterfinals.
On time, I'm about ready to give up my chair. I won't be needing that much anymore.
Yeah, we'll be on our feet. A lot of surprises there. Some of the mighty have fallen, just as happened in the hot saw showdown the other night.
And again, if you missed the qualifying rounds, if you missed our first round of 16, probably the most stunning of all of this was Nate Cumberland v. Jason Lentz. Nate Cumberland beat Jason Lentz.
Ben Cumberland.
Ben Cumberland.
Yeah.
Ben Cumberland beat Jason Lentz. And and then blew himself in for a rules infraction.
Yeah.
Vis-a-vis Jason Lentz, survives and moves on.
And here we go. We're ready to start the quarterfinals. These 4 matches will go very quickly, and then we'll get to the final, the medal round. Match number 1, Matthew Cogar taking on Trevor Beaudry. Trevor Beaudry, one of the giant killers so far in this competition. Matt Cogar's noticing that, I'm sure, has taken note of that. But can it take him out of his game? I kind of doubt that. Matt Cogar, known for his focus, for his discipline. He's a 7-time U.S. champion, and there's a lot of reasons for that. His great talent and his mind. And what's he thinking now?
It is different from other competitions that we do because everything else is individually based and how fast we can do those disciplines, whereas this is all purely endurance. It still is a sprint, but I mean it's a minute sprint versus a 15-second sprint. So it is a slightly different race than what we're accustomed to. But in the end of the day, it's like once you get warmed up, it starts to get easier as the day goes on.
Well, it's not exactly like you pointed this out earlier, Kevin. It's not like a minute sprint. It's more like a minute of combined push-ups, pull-ups, sprinting, and I don't know what else, taking a beating.
I was just going to say getting punched in the gut.
That's right.
Our minds are going the same direction. Yeah, there's very few sporting events out there that are so all-encompassing. And I keep coming back to the word efficiency. The more efficiently you can accomplish each of these tasks, the faster you will be, the more energy you will conserve. And Matt Cogar is efficient. He is smart with his movements.
3, 2, 1, go!
All right, here we go. Trevor Beaudry feeling big on stage after taking down Matty Slingerland, and now he has to take down the biggest of the bigs, Matt Cogar. Trevor Beaudry drawing nice big chips out of the front of this underhand. He is on the heels of Matt Cogar, but he's got to get out in front of him. Cogar into the single buck. Beaudry about 2-3 seconds. Oh, a little bobble there at the top for Beaudry.
No, he doesn't want to spot that much to Matt Cogar at this point.
No, and especially not in the standing block, Tommy. We saw Matt blaze off a 3-hit back on his standing block. Just seemed unworldly. Beaudry looks a little bit gassed as he approaches the standing block. He's got to keep that axe moving with the hope that something goes wrong over there for Matt Cogar. Matt Cogar is now in automatic mode and cleanly takes off the top of that log right around 1 minute for Matt Cogar. Beaudry a little bit pinched in on the front side of that log. He drives off. Again, 1:10. I think that even is his fastest time of the day. Judges are going to look things over, make sure there's no infractions.
Big man from West Virginia. Doesn't even look like he's breathing too hard at this point. He's feeling it, though. They all feel it. It is a workout.
Well, I got to give lots of credit to Trevor Beaudry. He has had an awesome day here in the trophy event. This is not an easy event, and he just keeps growing, getting faster, and showing that he belongs with the biggest names in the sport.
And the winner is Matt Cogar.
So Matt Cogar, calm, clean, cool, efficient, up into the wood, getting maximum performance out of that STIHL MS 661, locks the brake, gets his safety glasses off. As you recall, a few years ago, we had some issues where protective apparel was crossing that black line in the middle of the stage. Competitor would throw their safety glasses off, and it would skid across that black line. and potentially create an unsafe situation for their fellow competitor. We've seen competitors get disqualified for that. Now you see competitors be a little more ginger, a little more careful about where they throw those glasses down. I didn't really notice it in the event, but in the background, Beaudry with a hang-up in the top of that single buck, and there it is, another hang-up towards the bottom of that single buck. So those are just some of those tough breaks that cost you fractions of a second that you cannot afford to give up to Matt Cogar. Backside of the log here for Matt Cogar. 1 up, 1 down, 2 more up, and now he goes into a very safe finish, drives 2 hits down, cleans off the top of that standing block.
First one into the semifinal round. Did you see him right there? Is going to light up orange for Matt Cogar, 7-time U.S. national champion and defending trophy champion here in Virginia Beach.
3 more quarterfinal rounds to go. I'm looking down. I'm scouting names. I'm starting to pick, follow our route through this field.
All right, you can scan and vote along with all of the Timber Sports fans around the world. We're streaming this event live on Facebook, YouTube, and on STIHL's company page.
Yeah, Dave,
all right.
Dave, I'm going to warn you, don't look up right now. It's disturbing.
Don't look up right now?
It's disturbing.
All right. Here's your poll. What TV channel is STIHL Timber Sports broadcast on? Is it ESPN, Fox Sports, ABC Sports, or CBS Sports? If you get this question right, take that right answer over to the STIHL trailer and get yourself one of those awesome STIHL 100 hats.
Of course, you got 2 of the best women choppers in the U.S., Kay Witkowski and Erin Lavoie, who can't take their eyes off of them. Erin Lavoie and Kay Witkowski are in the front row. They're looking right up this guy's skirt, and they just can't stop.
All right, let's see what the answer is.
This is the best U.S. has right here.
Fox
Lauren
Sports.
Bergman?
Fox Sports is the correct answer. Used to be on just about every one of those other channels, but now you can find it on Fox Sports, and you'll be able to see this event this fall on Fox Sports 1.
Moving on, now quarterfinal round. We've got 1 heat down. Matt Cogar, just a shade over a minute flat. Easily taking that one. Not easily taking it, but convincingly taking it over Trevor Beaudry. Next up, going to be another Canada-U.S. matchup going this time. Ben Cumberland and Jason Lentz. And Ben Cumberland has come so very close here in North American Trophy. Can he make it happen? He's gotten this far. What's going to happen next?
As I train for it, I am trying to push myself to do all the events in a row. So going from a stock saw into an underhand, then running to the single buck, and then finishing off with a standing block. Just trying to make sure that my muscles are primed and my body realizes what's going on, and then making sure that I am mentally prepared to go into the pain cave and stay there until the end of the day. And, Lord willing, I'll be able to do that, and we'll see how the cookie crumbles.
Oh, the pain cave is a tough place. There's no doubt about it, but sometimes necessary.
Well, this is just such an interesting setup, Tommy. Jason Lentz thought he was out.
Warm up your saws.
In his round against the other Cumberland. Here he is again. Another opportunity. Jason just hasn't had the speed today. I don't know how this is going to turn out.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Jason Lentz giving a second go at this event. It is Ben Cumberland, though, ahead in the stock saw. He's going to get 1 blow into that underhand ahead of Jason Lentz. Jason's got to go. A lot of wood left in the bottom of that log from Jason Lentz. He's bailing on it. Cumberland around to the backside with a pretty small front face in there. I think these guys might be driving for a minute.
Well, it is Jason.
Jason Lentz now ahead of Ben Cumberland. Both those guys with small front faces in that underhand, but Jason Lentz just powered through. Look at Jason Lentz in the single buck. He is sawing with a vengeance. He said, I'm not going down again. The nose of that saw was disappearing well into the block. He was just raging on that single buck saw. He has a massive front face in the front side of this standing block. Into the back side of the log is Lentz. Cumberland is trying to catch up, does not have the gas, does not have the time. Jason Lentz will advance, takes full advantage, and will move on.
Well, he wasn't having it a second time with the Cumberlands. He had to close the Cumberland gap, if you know what I mean. Okay, so there we go. Good job by Jason Lentz. That might have fired him up a little bit.
I think he
may be lit now and ready to go.
Yeah, the single saw that I just saw from Jason Lentz was not what we've seen earlier today. He came in with a little more rage, a little more go.
Awesome job. What a race here in our quarterfinal. We'll wait for the official judges' ruling on who.
I think we're all okay on violations, but just to make sure, get everyone down. The final judgment.
And the winner is Jason Lentz.
There it is. Jason, we'll crack a word with you, buddy.
Jason Lentz, former world individual champion there with a good time of 1:04:52. You know he can go lower than that as well, and has done so.
Sydney, Australia, crowned the hardest hitter in the standing block chop in the world. Big round of applause. Never has an American been crowned that. Great job, Jason Lentz, fourth generation athlete. Talked to your dad last week. I'm watching you cut an underhand in Webster Springs. I said, Melvin, what are you seeing? He says he's robotic, Dave. I've seen him be smoother. He wants to get just more smooth. You want to loosen up. He said he wants you to see you go faster in those chip hits. What's your response to that?
Yeah, the same. Getting back from Sydney takes a while to get used to this wood, but yeah, I need to do a bit more training in that event. Actually, all the events. So that's all I got, Dave.
We saw you in the final round of the hot saw. You took home the silver. What would you rather be doing, hot sawing or this trophy event?
Well, hot sawing for sure.
I knew that answer. We're going to see him again in the semifinal round, Jason Lentz.
Let's go back and have a look at that run from Jason Lentz. Comes up and bumps his single buck saw just a little bit with maybe his hand or the side of the stock saw there, and transitions cleanly over into the underhand. Neither one of these guys had a great underhand chop. A lot of wood in the front of the log there for Ben Cumberland, and that leaves him driving for a lot of time in the backside of this wood, sticking the axe multiple times. Ultimately, there we have it. Jason Lentz was able to drive through just ahead, gained the time on Ben Cumberland, and then he got into the single buck, and this is where the fire came on. Watch the nose of this saw disappear into the log, using every inch of that saw to get as much productivity. Again, it's that efficiency quotient, Tommy. You want to get all you can out of every direction change of that saw. Watch this standing block open up 1-1, chase those corners, textbook maneuvers, takes it apart cleanly. He's going to drive near, drive up to the far. He is well past the center line. Even if it doesn't look like the wood is removed, the blade of that axe has traveled further into the log than it appears, into the backside, much like we've seen Matt Cogar do. He drives off in as few hits as possible.
Laid it all out there on that one, gasping just a little bit, understandably, to be forgiven. And there you see the winner at quarterfinal number 2, Jason Lentz. His official time, 1:04:52. Ben Cumberland, 1:12. 6:09. So half of our semi slots are filled. We got 2 more to fill, though, as it comes up. We got some big names ready to battle it out. Getting very close to that moment right now. Been a big weekend for timber sports here. We had our North American Hot Sauce Showdown on Friday night. Going into the night there as the temperatures dropped a little bit, which might have been beneficial for the saws. But Matt Slingerland breaking through for a big victory there after coming so close. Well, let's get ready for quarterfinal matchup number 3. It's going to be on stand number 1, Nate Hodges. Stand number 1 going up against North Carolina's Ben Nicely. And Nate Hodges, he's been very forward with us, transparent about it. He's had some injury. He's been working hard against it this year. Can he push through it one more time and get himself a winner?
You know, if I could pull off the win, coming off an injury, just pulling off the win in general would just be amazing. I've never won this event. It's a difficult one to win for me. I've been really close a couple times, and it's definitely on my bucket list to try to pull it off. So it'd be super amazing to pull off a win this weekend.
No,
super amazing indeed.
Yes, indeed. That sums it all up right there.
I hate to pick favorites out of all my timber sports events.
Sure.
But this trophy event, if I was still in the game, this would be the crown.
Warm up your saws.
It really would be. It's such a different animal from what these guys do. The combination of events. So to hear him talk about it, he's been our STIHL Timbersports champion. He's been the world champion. It's a trophy event. It's a different animal.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
And for Nate Hodges, he's up against the animal on stand number 2, Ben Nicely. Nicely was really quick on the go there, and these guys both transition very nicely over to the underhand chop. Ben opens up a very clean front face. Hodges getting a little bit slappy. You see that one hit just kind of get away from him with a lot of wood still in the bottom of that log. Hodges is so powerful, though. I'm guessing he'll have no problem breaking through it, but that might give Ben Nicely a small advantage, and it does. Nicely advances to the single buck, but hangs the saw. He's got to get it smoothed out. He's got to keep the nose off the stage. Hodges, though, is motoring down through this log.
He's hung again.
Nicely with another hang. This is not going well for Nicely, who had started to reel in and pass Hodges. He's got a lot to gain now on Hodges.
Hodges just about there, and there it is.
There it is. Nate Hodges, a 103-ish. We'll see what the official time sorts out to. He will be advancing. Boy, we are stacking the finals right now.
Wow, we are. Unofficially 103.94 for Nate Hodges. For Ben Nicely, he was in it. I mean, he was there. He, in fact, had a little advantage as they got to the single buck.
Yeah, I can't believe all the hang-ups for Nicely in that single buck. That's not his typical sawing, but again, this is not your typical single buck run.
And the winner is Nate Hodges.
On Canadian soil, but coming down here into the U.S.
Well, let's take a look at it again.
Yeah, there's a great side-by-side with these two guys. Very quick, very clean into the wood. Slight advantage, Nicely getting to the wood, but it was advantage to Hodges getting through the wood. The underhand chop of Hodges was not as clean, was not as proper as Ben Nicely, but the horsepower was there. You see, I was going to say, watch that hit right there as it glances to the side for Nate Hodges. He's got a lot of cuttable wood in the front side of that log. He bails on it, gets into the back, and just drives it off in the back side of the log. It cost him some time, though, and this is where Nicely advances. He had a very clean front face. He got ahead to the single buck, but then the hang-ups start for Nicely as we watch him try to get his angle set, and it just doesn't come together. I don't know, the saw seems like it's discharging. Every once in a while there's some noodles that hang up in there, but there it is right there. He just gets the nose down, got the heel up. Hodges transitions over to the standing block. Massive 1-1. Now goes into a 4-hit rotation. Drives. Proper clean front face, doing it textbook style. He knows at this point he's in good shape. He's not coasting by any stretch of the imagination, but he's not going to get experimental.
Again, a 103.72 for Nate Hodges. You talk about stacking the semis. That's exactly what's going on. Look at it. Cogar, Lentz, and now Hodges. 1, 2, 3. One more quarterfinal matchup to go. Stirling, Hart, and Josh Wilson.
All right. We got fans around the world watching Timber Sports today. If you want to show them your fandom, you can scan in right now, either live or sitting at home watching. So scan the QR code. There it is. There's Kevin and Tommy, the legend, Tommy Sanders, on the screen.
There they go. Look at those guys. Happy now?
And there we go. There's some more of our fans here around Jackalope. There's some guys in the truck having some fun. What a beard. What a beard. Rocking those steel hats, the Steel 100 hats. Lots of fans here supporting Timber Sports and the Jackalope Festival. All right, heat number 4 coming to the stage now out of Squamish.
All right, as we say, we have already stacked the semis, but we got one more open spot there. Those first 3 spots certainly filled with what you'd call the chalk picks, the before the event favorites. And now Stirling Hart is going to be going on stand at number 1, going up against Josh Wilson and Stirling Hart. He's done it before. He's gotten so close before. One more shot here today.
You know, I've had a lot of success over my career in this Champions Trophy. I'm still the only Canadian to win a world championship on the pro level in 2018 in this event. I never lost this event on Canadian soil, but coming down here into the U.S., I haven't managed to come out on top yet. I've been close last year, ended up 4th, but it's just such a deep talent pool that they have down here. It's taken the sport to a whole nother level. So, you know, if I want to win it, I'm going to really have to go and, you know, if I was able to come out on top of that podium, that would be a tremendous feeling, being amongst some of these best athletes in the world.
All right, like Nate Hodges, Stirling Hart kind of dealing with some injury issues, trying to recover. And so far it hasn't held Stirling Hart back, nor has it held Nate Hodges back. Again, look for that caged animal effect here.
Yeah, Tommy, I've been looking forward to this heat number 4 as the brackets
ready.
Built in.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1. Go!
I think we're going to be treated with another very close race here with Josh Wilson. I think these guys are going to be neck and neck. Very small advantage for Stirling Hart as he cruises over to the underhand. He may have some trouble when he gets to the standing block because the cookie he cut from his stock saw run did a slow roll all the way over to the base of the standing block stand. It might be right near where his front foot wants to end up. We'll have to find out in a couple more disciplines here. I don't know if I like how that underhand came apart. The block seemed like it rocked up and fibers should have severed, but it did not seem like 100% clean sever. The judges will judge that when it comes time. Breaks off the cookie at the bottom. There he sees he's right over by that his stock saw disc. It does seem to be out of the way for now, but he's going to have to work hard here to stay ahead of Josh Wilson as these guys go neck and neck. They're both in the turn at the same time. Boy, Sterling Hart's got a big front face in there. Wilson's going to have to drive. Hart is driving. Oh, my gosh. Wow. What a race again. Hart's looking over.
Now the questions on the underhand.
Yep, they're going to look at that underhand. Oh, and it does come apart. No fibers left.
Hey,
big relief for Sterling Hart right there.
Oh, trouble for Josh Wilson. Irrelevant trouble for Josh Wilson at this point. Not sure what they're looking at for Josh Wilson. Maybe his block isn't severed all the way.
Could be.
Matters little at this point. Sterling Hart would be advancing.
We're going to take a look. It is under review right now.
That's a lot of work.
What an incredibly tight race between these two athletes.
That was awesome.
Okay, Josh Wilson, DQ, block not severed. The winner is Sterling Hart.
His underhand was actually not.
Let's go back and look one more time. It was advantage Wilson getting to the block first in this stock saw, getting through the block first. Sterling Hart actually edged him out. I thought Wilson had stayed ahead in that. Now let's talk about this underhand, Tommy. Let's talk about the end of the underhand. I was questioning whether Sterling Hart had finished his block. Turns out Josh Wilson hadn't finished his block, and it seems like an obvious thing, like, well, just finish the block. Well, in this race, if either one of these guys, especially Sterling Hart in this case, had gone back to put one more hit in for that insurance policy, it actually would have cost him the race.
He'd be behind
his gut told him that block moved. You can feel it through your feet when the last fibers are severed, even though you may not see the block completely fall in or fall off the stand. So it's a calculated risk to not go back and take that one extra hit because it would have cost him the race. So in his mind, it's a DQ when he loses the race, or that one extra hit will cost him the race. Into this standing block, it is all advantage Sterling Hart. He has to clear one chip. I don't know what it is with Sterling and rolling cookies, but he's stacking them up over there behind him in the standing block. Just these slow rollers. Does a beautiful job opening up the backside of this log. Both of these guys just driving at this point. Wilson again had to go back and clear one more chip. We saw that again. There's that one hit. Wilson had to go back, clear a chip that he didn't quite get out before he started driving.
And Sterling Hart, who trusted that his underhand was severed, first thing he did was start staring that thing down the minute he got through with the standing block.
He was concerned.
Yeah. And that's the moment when Rich Hallett pulls him apart there and discloses no fibers remaining. So yeah, a stack semis for sure. Let's take a look at how it's going to match up. It's going to be Cogar versus Lentz, Hodges versus Hart. The three top Americans versus the top-rated trophy competitor from Canada. Maximum excitement when we go to the semis, and then get ready for our final medal run for these competitors, the four who are left in the semis.
Smell that? Spring. Things out here have gotten a little too comfortable. It's time to remind these edges, and blades just who pays the bills around here. It's time to run it. Run it until the grass becomes a lawn, until the hedge is dark and covered. Then run it again.
Some days, everything goes your way. This is not one of those days. Good thing the Gator XUV can navigate rugged terrain and haul whatever the day demands.
Pull me out!
Because when work happens, you've got a Gator for that. The Gator XUV, built for every kind of workday.
The power's out!
Learn more at an authorized John Deere dealer.
Conserving moments like this. The Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation is building a strong future for all big game. 1 square mile a day. That's our mission. More access, healthier habitats. Your support will help shape what's next.
Well, to everyone watching around the world, and those of us here in Neptune's Garden at Jackalope, Virginia Beach, thanks so much for being with us today, and the best is yet to come. We're getting closer and closer to the ultimate moment here in the North American Trophy semifinals. 2 matches set up, and here we go with semifinal match number 1. 2 of the biggest names in American timber sports for the last decade, undeniably. Matthew Cogar, 7-time U.S. champion, former world individual champion Jason Lentz. He's had his U.S. championships as well. And Matthew Cogar trying to go back-to-back. Our defending champion in trophy for the United States and North American titles. He'd love to do it one more time. He loves stacking up trophies. And here's another great opportunity.
It's really a test of how well your body's prepared for the event, you know. And it's like you might have a year that you don't do well, and that's okay. But then the following year, you're like, okay, these are the things I got to work on. I'm going to work on, work on that endurance training. I'm going to go pretty hard in training and try to get that same feel, that same burn at the end. At the end of the day, it is how hard can you push your body to the limit, and then just kind of seeing what your body is capable of and just kind of letting it happen.
Well, I guess now is time when we start to talk about the cumulative
warm up your saws
strain on these people's bodies.
Yeah, absolutely. And Matt Cogar's had a pretty ordinary path to this point. He was #1 qualifier. He's won all of his rounds pretty handily. Jason Lentz with a very abnormal path to this point.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
But Tommy, when that goes off, it doesn't matter how you get here. No. It matters what happens about 1 minute from now and how you get out of here. It is Lentz into the wood first in the underhand, but the axe hangs slightly. These guys have cut hundreds of blocks next to each other, and this is another day where we get to see 2 of the best in the world go head-to-head. Matt Cogar just destroyed that underhand ahead of Jason Lentz, and he is well into that single buck. Matt Cogar into the middle, into the big wood. Here comes Jason Lentz. A hang from Cogar at the bottom of that log. Jason narrowed the gap in that single buck event as we get over to the standing block. Jason Lentz has a fire going. He is gunning, and these guys turn at the same time. Trouble, though. I don't know if the axe hung on Lentz. I took my eyes off him for a second. It is Matt Cogar advancing 56-23, the unofficial time for Matt Cogar. That is just sick. What a race from 2 legends in the sport. Jason Lentz, I didn't know what was going on with him earlier in the day. It just didn't seem like things were clicking. He has been getting faster, better, more fire as the day has gone on. That was an amazing race between 2 epic competitors.
Well, Jason Lentz, after having dodged a bullet for sure in the round of 16, coming back and seeming to pick up some momentum in the quarterfinals. And was going strong at the very end. It's going to be Cogar.
Cogar's been so strong in the standing block this weekend. When he got to the standing block first, I felt like it was done at that point.
And the winner is Matt Cogar.
Wow. Matt Cogar picking up 5 seconds.
Joined now with Matt Cogar, chopping his way into the final. Matt, you just find another gear, man, the later and later into these rounds. Talk to me about that cut, man. It was fast.
Yeah, no, I guess the best cuts are all these ones that you can't really remember too much about. But no, everything was smooth. Just had to make sure the hits went in where they should. And, you know, and you can't discount Jason. He's such a great competitor at this event as well. And it's just that's how things end up whenever you match up with the guy in your pool. So you just kind of have to keep working at it till the end.
All right, buddy. Good luck in the finals. Let's hear it for Matt Cogar, chopping his way into the final.
We'll have another look at this run from Matt Cogar. Calm, cool, collected, per usual. Check that box for the stock saw. No bobbles. Nice, clean run. Gets the saw down. Gets his gear off, gets over to the underhand, just slightly behind Jason Lentz, who just transitioned a little better. But it was Cogar in this underhand that found something in that block. Either the axe liked it better, he opened up a little bit bigger in the backside of that log. That put him ahead going into the single buck. But Jason Lentz brought some extra fire to the single buck event. He really started to reel Cogar in. In the end, though, ultimately it was not enough. Cogar gets to the standing block. Oh, there was that hang from Cogar, too. I forgot about that. Cogar would love to forget about that, too. But Matt gets into the standing block ahead of Jason Lentz. They end up turning at the same time. Matt just had more work done, and he has been ripping off and finishing these blocks with just such brutality lately. The backs of these logs, we saw him earlier in the day put a 3-hit back into the log and just destroy the block.
Well, the two guys who have generated more force than just about anyone in the history of United States lumberjack sports. A great matchup for them, and it's going to be Matt Cogar headed to the final. Jason Lentz will compete in the small final. We got one more semi left to go. Nate Hodges and Canada's best Stirling Hart. So great to have you with us again. We can't say enough about this tremendous venue we have in the middle of another giant event. The huge Jackalope, Virginia Beach. All these folks having a great time in the absolute Chamber of Commerce weather conditions out here today.
You couldn't draw better weather maps than we've had. No. It has been warm but not hot, breezy but not windy. Just perfect conditions for the athletes and spectators here in Virginia Beach.
Walking that famed boardwalk there. This weekend, you get a little core workout and dodging skateboarders as they're coming by. Well, here we go. Ready now for our semifinal heat. On the right stand, number 2, Stirling Hart, and there he is, Nate Hodges. He's avoided all the giant killers so far today. And Nate Hodges, both of these guys dealing with injuries, but can he make it through to the final?
It's a whole different training regimen for this. You've got to not only have your gear right, your skill right, but then you've really got to have your fitness level right, or else you're not going to be able to continue on in that bracket. You'll get tired real quick. So yeah, it's a whole different plan going into this than the normal championship events that you'll see.
Nate Hodges looking to make it to the final against Matt Cogar. Would be a great matchup, no doubt about that. Either one of these two hopefuls here, Sterling
Warm up your
Hart or Nate,
saws.
want the opportunity to go after the defending champion.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
Both of these athletes are titans in their respective countries, and they get to meet here in Virginia Beach. What a dead heat race in the stock saw into the underhand we go. Look at the chips flying for Sterling Hart. Look at the speed and the power of Nate Hodges. He's into the back of the log already. A lot of cuttable wood in the front side, but Hodges usually likes to just sort of snap and split that off. There it is. Hodges finishes. You see Sterling Hart this time. He made sure that block was finished as they transition over to the single buck. Boy, neck and neck down through this log. Slight advantage to Hodge. Yeah, Hodge is just a half a stroke ahead into the standing block. This is absolute insanity between two titans in this trophy event. Hodges into the back of the log. Now is Sterling Hart. Boy, Hart's got to find another gear. He's got to get that axe moving. It's going to be Nate Hodges. Hodges is just grenading these standing blocks. I had a little pause there at the end before I called it for Hodges. His body was blocking the chop, and I could see like a good chunk of the block fly away, but it wasn't quite clear if he had the whole job done.
Sub 1 minute as well for Nate Hodges. 58:05, the unofficial number for Nate Hodges.
Unbelievable cuts for these guys.
Now it's official. 58:91 for Nate Hodges. Impressive. He'll need that and maybe more in his next showing.
It's going to need to be a little more there in the final.
And the winner is Nate Hodges.
We'll see if we can grab Nate.
Well, Nate Hodges expressing all day long, worried about his conditioning. He hasn't been able to train like always through this 2026 season.
I'm gonna follow. I'll tell you, I'll come over there. I came over there for Lentz. No, we're not doing an interview? All right, we got to get him up here. Sorry, boss. Sorry, Nate. I'm getting an earful from the truck that you got to come up here. You need a nap. I don't blame you. You got one more. You might be needing a plane ticket to Budapest in a couple days, bud. You know, I was just thinking about last year. I don't remember if it was the semifinal or the final round. You missed the bottom hit on the underhand. I think you said it took you 18 drives to get that under. Is that in your head getting into these final rounds, or do you have to erase that? But you really learn from each event. Talk about that.
Well, you never lose, you just learn, right? But I'm surely not thinking about the bad cut from last year. There are so many moving parts on this stage that I'm just taking it one event at a time and doing the best I can to put up a good shot. But like you guys said, that underhand, I kind of screwed it up. I got lucky. It was close to being disaster. Luckily, it was a good log.
All right, we're going to let you rest up. Hopefully, we're going to talk to this guy again holding the trophy. This guy's going to go for his...
Let's look at this standing block from Hodges. Classic 1-1. Starts chasing those corners. Everything looks normal, looks predictable. You'd see him pop two more upward drivers in. A lot of wood on the far side, but he rolls that nose around. Does step that hit up a little bit. That isn't right where it would want to be, but it's got to be good enough. No time to make it pretty now. Gets into the backside of the log, and we'll watch how this block comes apart at the end. As he drives near, that opens up that window. You see the top of that block twist. That is so classic, so awesome, so textbook. You drive that near wood, it lets the top of that block twist. It opens up that window so you can see through to those far fibers. It gives you a bigger target to swing your axe into.
Well, there's going to be a little bit of rest time for Nate Hodges. Nate Hodges, of course, will be going up against defending champ Matt Cogar in the final there. But they're going to get a little bit of extra time because, as is tradition, we would go with the small final first, and that is going to be Stirling Hart up against Jason Lentz. Both of those guys look like they could have used a little more rest as well, so they're going to have to tee it up very quickly here. We're going to step away for just a moment and be right back with the small final.
For 100 years, we've built tools to work in nature with legendary performance and quality to master every challenge. Tools for people like you who work like a pro with heart and soul. Built for nature. Trusted since 1926. STIHL.
Conserving moments like this. The Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation is building a strong future for all big game. 1 square mile a day. That's our mission. More access, healthier habitats. Your support will help shape what's next.
Everything goes your way. This is not one of those days. Good thing the Gator XUV can navigate rugged terrain and haul whatever the day demands.
Pull me out!
Because when work happens, you've got a Gator for that. The Gator XUV, built for every kind of workday.
The power's out!
Learn more at an authorized John Deere dealer.
We're back here at Virginia Beach. Jackalope, Virginia Beach, still going strong here for the third day, and we are still going strong for the third day of STIHL Timbersports action. Just a great festival for all fans of this sport during this special weekend in May. We're getting ready to go with the small final, and then comes the final to decide the gold medal. All coming up moments away. But right now, let's take it to Dave and Dave at the stage.
Yeah, we'll bring it back to the stage, but we have the fan cam QR code up there again. If you're at home or in the crowd, scan that QR code. Show those people your fandom out there for STIHL Timbersports. Let's see who's out there watching around the world. We got the truck there. There we go. Little prost action happened there with some beers. I love that. Some more guys in the truck. Our production crew, hard at work.
Where's my paper bag?
Yeah, there we go. Some young fans out there enjoying some timber sports. Now we see some of those awesome axes they've been giving away. There's the STIHL 100 hats. That was that model pose. That was like blue steel right there. We saw from one of our fans. And there's little Vivian. There's my 7-month-old enjoying her first event. Some more fans taking in the scenes. And there we go. Some fans at home watching. There we go. There's Browsey. At home watching. We're getting ready for our small final here. We appreciate all our fans out there joining us live and around the world, taking in this North American Trophy race. All right, we are good to go for our small final. On position one.
All right, the battle for the bronze is about to take place here. Our battle for the gold is yet to come, but right now it is the small final. Jason Lentz going up against Sterling Hart. Sterling Hart, of course, the former World Trophy champion. And Jason Lentz having gotten past Ben Cumberland to get into the semis as well. But Sterling Hart got a great sparkling record in this event. Can he make it one more win?
It is completely different than any other Steel Timber Sports event that we do, in that, you know, this one is based purely on endurance and who wants it more. Technique and equipment and all those things come into play. But, you know, the way it's designed, there's so many rounds. This event truly is won by the person that has put the most time and energy and wants it the most.
Well, this will, for these competitors, both in this and the final round, the gold round, this will be the 5th trophy race of the day for them, if you include the qualifying. And that has got to take a toll on the body. I think, Kevin, I would be in a hyperbaric chamber by now if I'd done half of one.
But, you know, at one level, that's just a little over 5 minutes worth of extraneous energy expenditure. But then at the same time, that is 5 minutes of the most extraneous energy expenditure you could possibly do.
No question.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
Very interesting matchup. Just in physical prowess alone, Jason Lentz appears like a giant on the stage with Sterling Hart. But Sterling Hart is so technical, so fast, and so fit. This is going to be a race. And it already is a race as these guys transition the underhand. A hang-up for Hart in the bottom side of that underhand. Lentz around to the backside already. Hart has got to keep that axe moving. Jason Lentz takes off his underhand chop and is into the single buck, handily ahead of Sterling Hart. We saw him really dig into this single buck earlier today, and this round is no exception, as he is about to drive off the single buck and head to the standing block. Sterling Hart is visibly gassed in this single buck event. He hangs the saw multiple times. Jason Lentz, I think, is on his way to a bronze medal as he strolls to the backside of this standing block. But here comes Hart. He's into the backside as well. There it is. Jason Lentz finishes it off. What a matchup between these two athletes. Both of them just absolutely gassed at this point. You saw Sterling Hart really start to fade in the last third of that single buck.
I think he earned it, absolutely.
Well, it's going to be the bronze for Jason Lentz. He looked so all in after that last heat, the one that got him here. But he made quite a recovery, I have to say. He looked really ready to go as we started here, but now he's feeling it. That is for sure. Both of these guys giving it their all today.
What an amazing pathway for Jason Lentz to get here to this bronze medal podium placement.
Had to dodge a bullet, that's for sure.
Had to dodge a bullet, had to find some more gears.
Had to make a big recovery to pull off that win we just saw.
Amazing persistence from Jason Lentz.
And the winner is Jason Lentz.
Yeah, Jason, come on over. We're going to work with you.
Jason typically makes this gap in one stride, but we're going to let him. Hey, you're allowed to use the speaker, bud. You all right? No. Jason says no. You know, to talk about just the whole story, you coming here, you know, you did the hot saw, you love the hot saw, you almost won it yesterday. You're so close, you're always on the podium. Where do you think you can gain time in this? It's so difficult just to watch. I feel your pain, but you're always looking for those microseconds everywhere.
Well, Dave, I got to thank Pro Soy for the sponsorship this year. The farmers group there that farm soybeans. they have actually given me a bit of a chance to do more training, and said I have a day job as well this year. But I've been working on a training facility for myself. Getting a little older now, so I figure inside's better training than outside. So I've been working on that, and hopefully that'll help me out in the years to come.
Great job. Rest up. Jabe John says he's treating you at the tequila bar when the show's done today. Big round of applause. Jason Lentz, Diana, West Virginia.
Bronze going to Jason Lentz there. Jason now looking forward to training harder. Making it to the Summers visit to Milwaukee for the national championship, STIHL Timbersports.
Yeah, eyes are always forward in this sport, but right now we're going to look back for just a moment here into this standing block chop. Jason is just a monster of a competitor, and he uses that height and that weight to his advantage, bringing that axe way out away from his body, keeping slope on there, and using the large muscle groups, engaging the core, engaging the legs. When you are fatigued, the small muscle groups fatigue first. So he is relying on those large muscle groups just to destroy that standing block chop.
Well, the bronze is settled. The small final is over. One more piece of business to take care of, and it is the most important piece of business today, the final, coming up next.
When you spend 100 years building chainsaws, you get really good at building chainsaws. So when STIHL built the mower, we built the chainsaw mowers. New blade, same bloodline.
Some days, everything goes your way. This is not one of those days.
Look at that.
Good thing the Gator XUV can navigate rugged terrain and haul whatever the day demands.
You pull me out?
Because when work happens, you've got a Gator for that. The Gator XUV, built for every kind of workday.
The power's out!
Learn more at an authorized John Deere dealer.
Now we are back for the ultimate moment here. We're down to two who have made it through all of these trophy heats on this grueling day here in Virginia Beach, Virginia. Cannot wait to see who emerges as the gold winner. We've got to have one winner. And let's meet our two contestants here, the ones who have done it better than anyone else so far. It's going to be Matt Cogar, 7-time U.S. champ, World Trophy champion, 2-time winner of U.S. Trophy, trying to make it back-to-back, and 3 total, Matt Cogar. Matt going up against Nate Hodges. Nate Hodges, world individual champion as well. Would love to add trophy into his trophy case.
A lot of trophies there, Tommy.
A lot of trophies. That's a lot of trophies.
But I'm going
takes
back
a lot of
through,
work.
It takes an immense amount of work, and I'm rolling back through my head. I'm rewinding the pathway for both of these competitors to get here. And the thing that keeps coming up to me is Matt Cogar. He hasn't had an easier route here, but he has just been more effortless. He's been smoother. It's been cleaner runs. Yep. I feel like he has expended less effort to get here. Hodges has just been under the gun.
Warm up your saws.
Battling every single round to get here. We'll see if that has made Matt a little complacent, if it's taken too much gas out of the tank for Hodges. Either way, this is going to be a race and a half.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
Both these guys super quick to the wood. There cannot be any errors. Small advantage, Cogar, but look at how fast
he was
Hodges.
up there fast.
Yeah, Hodges just laid down. I think he burned rubber all the way from the sawing bunk to the underhand cradle. Hodges around first. A little bit of a sloppier front face for Hodges, though. Cogar driving. Cogar's off first. There again, that's where putting that work in the front pays off. Cogar with a bit of a rough start at the top of that single buck saw. Hodges is pistoning his way down through that wood. I think he's going to come off. Oh, and Cogar hangs up.
Wow.
Boy, I tell you what, Matt Cogar has been destroying standing blocks. He's got to destroy this one like no other, because here comes Nate Hodges. Hodges drives. He's around to the back. He's about 2 hits ahead of Matt Cogar. Cogar hangs the axe. Hodges may take this. No, oh my gosh! It is Matt Cogar by the slimmest of margins. What an amazing race. Hodges is even smiling in the loss because he recognizes what a race we all just had. What an exclamation point to put on the day today. Put on the weekend, this weekend, Tommy. Amazing. We're all kind of pausing a little bit, though. The judges have to check everything over. I didn't see anything that looked, questionable or flagrant.
If you had scripted an end that close, no one would have believed you. But that is exactly the way it happened. A split second separating the two after all this work. All through the year and all this weekend.
And the winner is Matt Cogar.
Let's take a look at the successful defense of the title here in Virginia Beach.
Well, and this is the first time all day that we've seen Matt Cogar on his heels, on the rope. Look at the hustle from Hodges, just absolutely blistering pace to get across the stage. The little things along the way, a small stick in the front side for Cogar, then another small stick for Hodges. Cogar did a cleaner job on the front side of this log, but again, a couple hangs with the axe and it just robs that momentum. You'll see Cogar drive off first ahead of Hodges, but then Hodges again finds that gear and guns it across the stage. Matt Cogar would love to have this single buck back. This is where Hodges just put horsepower down and motored down through this log. Passes Matt Cogar in the wood. That is just unheard of. But the hang-ups at the top and the bottom of the log for Cogar was the window of opportunity that Hodges needed. We have watched Cogar destroy standing blocks here this weekend, and he never needed it more than he did right now. Watch as Hodges gets around into the back. He gets 2 hits into the log, and I guess really kind of 2.5 hits into the backside of that log. But Matt Cogar has been driving these blocks off in just an unrealistic fashion, just by the slightest of margins. 2 fists in the air for Matt Cogar, your gold medalist. Unreal. What a way to end this.
The truck says go, buddy. We're going. The whole world says we want to talk. We want to hear from Matt Cogar. I don't know where to start. I watched you cut an event last weekend in West Virginia, a springboard. Took you 43 seconds to climb up 2 boards and do the impossible. And I watched your face and said, there's no emotion on his face. It's just very controlled. It's very confident. Your wife says he is very confident. You don't get upset. When you're really upset, you look mildly frustrated. It's not a big deal. But you said going into this event, you don't think about 4 events in a row. You do 1 event. You re-rack. You reset your mind. Take a breather. Do the next event as hard as you can. That's the Matt Cogar style.
Yeah, I tend to just focus on each discipline at a time. The end of the race is done after the standing block, so you just got to get through the next discipline on to the final part. And no, it's just a whole day of pent-up energy. And, man, I didn't even know where Nate was in that whole race. I knew he was, ahead of me, behind me, ahead of me. Just all I could do was just dig a little bit more and leave nothing in the tank. And it's pretty amazing to come up with that win.
Yeah, you were telling me you know how much adrenaline you have left, and you have just a slow release of adrenaline. But going into the final event, the final standing block, it all has to come out.
Yeah, there's nothing left in the tank after that because, well, whether you win or lose, you better not have any energy left. You're going to be hitting on yourself till the next season.
We need you to have enough energy to go to the podium, buddy. Big round of applause from Grafton, West Virginia. Your 4-time national trophy event winner, Matt Cogar.
Oh, my goodness. What the highlight reel of all time from Trophy.
I could watch it 1,000 times over. These two titans going at it. Matt Cogar, I said it earlier in the day, he is finishing standing blocks. It will look like a tie at the turn, but he is just destroying the backside of these blocks, and he did it there again. What an amazing finish for Matt Cogar. Again, the first time today we have seen him on his heels and reeled him back in, past Nate Hodges in that standing block. Hodges digging through that entire heat.
You can take a look at the way it all came down from the semis and the small final won by Jason Lentz there, just closing out Stirling, Hart, and there's Matt Cogar with that just split-second win ahead of Nate Hodges. Just incredible, incredible stuff. These guys leaving it all out there, that is for sure. I don't think they'd have another race in them, any of those four from the small final and the final. We're getting ready to go with our medal ceremony here. And again, congratulations to our winner, Matt Cogar, but both those guys for putting on one of the best, I mean the best trophy race I have ever seen in my life.
And I'll extend that to the rest of the field, too. Yeah. I mean, it was such a day. There were upsets. There were come-from-behind wins. There were some DQs. Like, every imaginable combination all came together today. Just spectacularly close races. The bar keeps getting raised year after year with this trophy event.
Well, let's take it down to the stage as we're ready.
Award ceremony on the stage right now. Presenting the awards, we have Jason McNichol for STIHL Canada Director of Operations, and Aaron Ashcroft, the Chief of Staff for STIHL USA. All right. In third place in the North American Trophy race, coming to the stage, Mr. Jason Lentz. Earning the silver medal from North Fork, California. Let's hear it for Nate Hodges. And your winner of the North American Trophy race punches his ticket to Budapest next weekend, representing the USA, winning $10,000. Let's hear it for Matt Cogar. Let's hear it for all our athletes. Huge shout out to all of our sponsors, John Deere, the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, STIHL USA, and of course, the Jackalope Festival. What an event here today. Give all of our sponsors and athletes another big, big round of applause. Can't wait to be back here next.
Really was a weekend. The best of the best, Kevin. I mean, absolutely the cream of the crop. These 16 athletes, 6 of them from Canada, 10 from the United States in the trophy competition. Ditto for the Hot Sauce Showdown and the 8 U.S. or the 4 U.S. women and 4 Canadian women who did the Women's Cup. Just incredible performances. They deserve to be here. They deserve the biggest stage, and they show why this stage is so great.
And this stage just elevates performance across the board. When you get invited to an event like this, when you qualify for an event like this, boy, it makes you stand up and take notice. And every competitor here moved to the next level. We saw so many personal bests. We saw so many records in such a beautiful venue. Can't wait to get back and do it again next year.
Absolutely. It's going to be even bigger and better. You can count on that. Congratulations to Lauren Bergman, the winner of the Women's Cup out there. And, of course, Matt Slingerland, who broke through for the hot saw title here on Friday night. To everyone who was here, everyone who's a part of it, thanks for Jackalope, Virginia Beach, and thank you for watching.